All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host. I'm so happy to be here. I am so excited to be live. It is the 14th of June at just about 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm just happy to be here. So, welcome. I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room. You can find that over at 12radio.com. Just click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And Scott, of course, is standing by to let you in the chat room. I couldn't remember. At any rate, I'm also over in the chat room. You'll find my banner at the top of the page, the Katie Weaver Show. That's where some of us are chatting. But I'm also live streaming this event from YouTube and Facebook, Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, if you'd rather watch than listen. And you can certainly just comment in the chat rooms there and or the comment sections there. And I have my eyes on all of them. So we can multitask around here. Yes, we can. Oh gosh, you guys, how are you? It's a full moon. It's not very often that we get to come together for the full moon and actually be here on the full moon to do full moon fairy tale tarot. So I'm super excited about it. And of course, we are doing full moon fairy tale tarot today, as well as some other stuff. But I'm curious to know, how are you? How are you sleeping? Sometimes the full moon is when sleep goes like way sideways. So I'm always curious to know like what's going on with sleep for y'all. We're good here, we're not good here. It's actually been fine at my house, which is interesting because a lot of times during the full moon we don't sleep worth a damn. But we're sleeping really good right now, so we'll take it. Of course, I'm only speaking for myself and the dogs. We're sleeping good, but I can't really speak for Scott. I think he's sleeping good. He seems to be. When I think he's sleeping well, he'll say he tossed and turned all night. So I don't know. But either way, I hope that you guys are doing good. I hope that your animals are well. Sometimes during the full moon, that's when we'll see our animal companions start really acting up. And mine have that, well, they're just acting up. I mean, it's just normal behavior. It's just what it's like to live here. So I don't think it's anything out of the norm. But anyway, I was thinking about the full moon in the scope of the energy and energy work that can be done. And, the moon is full. So now it's starting to wane in the next day or so. And that sometimes is a good time for a really good clearing. And I'm noticing a lot of you guys calling the last few days, as well as, that I'm talking to that need a really good, like comprehensive, clear out all the shit kind of clearing. So for the full moon, I did put my Merkaba clearing on sale. It's a 15-minute session and we can do a full Merkaba clearing that way and clear all of the sludge out from the cellular level, the emotional level, the spiritual level, and just leave you feeling better than you came. So I posted a link in the chat rooms for that, but you can also find it over at 12listen.com under me, Katie Weaver, my profile. And you don't have to do it today. If you buy that, the next time you call me, the computer will initiate it. So don't worry about it if that's something you want to do, but you don't have time to call today. That's totally fine. You can use it when you are ready, but definitely lots of stuff. And I think partly it's that this Mercury retrograde, my observation of it was that it brought up a lot of emotional stuff for people. And it wasn't necessarily one of those full moons that, or those retrogrades that bring up like a lot of communication errors and technical errors and stuff like that. Moreover, it brought up a lot of emotional stuff to the surface, old stuff, old people, old guilt and shame and just all that kind of shit, right? That's what came to the surface. And then Mercury went direct, and the minute it did, Saturn retrograded, and it seems like it just doubled down. So I know a lot of you guys are feeling kind of weighed down by a lot of that kind of stuff. So, anyway, if a Merkaba healing or clearing can help you, pick that up. It's a really good price, good way to talk to me for 15 minutes and get a really powerful piece of energy work. So, that's what I am thinking about. That's one of the things I'm thinking about. I'm also thinking about my birthday. My birthday is coming up in 10 days on the 24th. And because of that, next week will be my birthday giveaway show. So you guys have been here for my birthday giveaway shows before, or if you have not, welcome. Not today, but so on my birthday giveaway show, I always give away some of my favorite things. And oh man, I've got fun stuff to give away this year. I've got socks, I've got art, I've got 3D printed magic. I have got, I'm going to give away one board, one tarot board, sorry. And also mugs. I made the cutest mugs for the psychic fair. You guys haven't even seen them yet. I'm going to give away mugs. I'll give away some readings. It's going to be great. I'm going to give away all kinds of stuff. So that's the stuff I'm working on, and I'm super excited. I also have invited a guest to join me for my birthday show, but they haven't confirmed yet. So I'm not going to tell you who it is until they do because, well, that would be silly. But I have invited a guest, which I know is very rare here in the 1-2 world. I hardly ever have a guest, but there you have it. I am so excited to do the birthday giveaway show. So, to be involved in the birthday giveaway show, all you have to do is show up. That's all. So, yes, this is a it's one of my favorite shows of the year, to be honest. And the reason I do it, I know it's my birthday and I'm giving away stuff, and that's a little backwards for your birthday, maybe, but it's not for me. I just love to be able to gift you guys in every way that I can. I think it's the funnest thing. JR, I did hear about Harmony Montgomery. I've been tracking it all morning. So, Harmony Montgomery is a child that has been missing in New Hampshire for, help me, JR, a couple of years. And she got lost in the system through CPS and her birthday parents. And anyway, she's missing. And there's been a lot of suspicion that her dad and stepmom did her in, unfortunately. And we've been waiting. They've been in custody now for, oh gosh, close to a year on other stuff while they were trying to find Harmony. And it looks like maybe they have. So you'll have to keep an eye on True Crime Paranormal for all the deets on that. But yes, yes, JR, I've been watching it. I'm so excited. So excited for Harmony to get justice and also peace. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Maureen said, my yellow lab, Ivy, has an abscessed anal gland. She said, Jesus family has ass problems. Antibiotics and steroids, as I think it was from a Trader Joe dog treat. Never a dull moment, but would love your thoughts. Want to escape back home to the beach in New Jersey. Ooh, I'll bet. Yeah. Oh, the stepmom didn't pass away, Deb. It was her dad's new girlfriend who he had been with, he was living homeless with and using with at the time that he was picked up by the police. The stepmom is actually in custody. Yeah. I I have an old mic, Sid. The puppies chewed through a cable. Big surprise. So I had to go back to my old mic, and I'm liking it better too. This is the cheap mic. And the big fancy mic, the big expensive mic, this is the one the puppies chewed through the cable of. And honestly, I'm liking this sound better. I don't know that I'm going back. Yeah. Oh, anyway. Well, Maureen, I am sorry to hear that. But you know what? I have another client dog who recently got had an abscess in the roof of his mouth that abscessed up into his sinuses, and he had to have surgery, and like it was bad. And they said something sharp had punctured the roof of his mouth that caused that, and his mom felt like it was from a dog treat, one of those dried chicken pieces that maybe was sharp and punctured the inside of his mouth. It's definitely dog treats make me really nervous because too often we've seen them recalled and heard horror stories about them hurting animals, and I don't do dog treats. And, you know, We were just saying today maybe we need to get some little training treats for the Chihuahuas because for our little boys because, well, they are naughty as hell. But I'm very nervous about dog treats. And you go places like, oh, like you see dog treats at the freaking dollar store. And holy moly, you know, gosh, no. Really makes me nervous. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not surprised to hear that, Maureen, and I've heard other yeah, dog treats make me nervous. Anyway, that's all on that. But apparently the new moon also has me all over the freaking map. But I do want to say hi to all of you guys. Hi to Lillian, Sheila, Maya, Mary, JR, Deb, Paula, Maureen, Sid. Hold on, other chat room. I'm just glad you guys are all here and I hope you're having a good day. Morlene, Rebecca, Renee, Tiffany, Tara, Denise, Norella. Good to see you guys all. Have you seen, I can't imagine you haven't, it's been everywhere, but have you seen what the hell is going on in Yellowstone? Oh my gosh, Yellowstone is a complete disaster area. Oh, and so is Montana in general, but well, not in general, part of Montana. Uh, Tamara, our dear Tamara Childs, her town is flooded horribly. But Yellowstone is in deep shit. They have flooded to the point that they have had to close the park. So many bridges and roads are washed out that they've had to just close the park completely. All of these tourists that have come from all over the world that were either in the park or headed to the park, they had like 3 days of major rainfall, and now here we are with the flooding of the Yellowstone River and other waterways as well, and it's causing unbelievable trouble. These enormous bridges just washed out. Major roadways. The one major roadway that we've been on a billion times in Yellowstone washed out. These aren't things that they can fix fast, you know? And I'm sure they'll make an effort to fix it fast because, well, gosh, they need them to be fixed fast, but it's way bad. It's way bad. It could close Yellowstone for the year. At least portions of Yellowstone for the year, I think, without a doubt. So that I think is just really, really sad. I hate to see this. I hope that the animals are safe and okay. It worries me a lot for all of the small businesses that thrive on the commerce, you know, and the tourist season. Frankly, my town relies on the commerce of the tourist season, and it will hurt us too. It's going to hurt a lot of businesses around here. Now, they say that Yellowstone is receiving about 75% or 25% less tourists than they had last year. And that's actually probably a good thing because last year Yellowstone saw record numbers. It was unthinkably busy and packed with cars. And that always has to make you worry a little bit for all of the wildlife. So there will be some silver linings here for the wildlife, except for that some of their habitat has now been destroyed as well. So, anyway, big concerns and completely unprecedented stuff happening in this area right now. So, it's just really sad and unbelievable what's going on. Yeah, like Montana has not seen a flood of this nature in like many, many, many years. They just don't get this kind of precipitation. And now suddenly they're just bombarded. So I'm posting a few links in the chat room if you're curious to see what things are looking like there, if you haven't already seen some stuff. But yep, that's what's up. Yeah. And here I just bought my season pass to Yellowstone. I know. Yeah. So what happened to Yellowstone, JR? It's just flooding. So much rain. So, so much rain, and they didn't get a lot of snow up in Montana this year. Really got way less than normal, but over in the north end or the east end, they've had some huge storms just recently that closed some of the roads there. So they had all of that snow and water to deal with, and then they just had torrential rains. We had them too. Obviously, it was worse there, but torrential rains for a couple of days, and I mean it muffed stuff up. It's just so bad. Yeah, yeah, it is totally crazy. Mother Nature is pissed, right? Hey, Samantha. I know. Yeah, I just don't know what to think. I'm not sure how to help or support. I thought, well, I mean, the best I can probably do is, go to West Yellowstone. That's the west entrance. That's the closest to me, and shop there, eat there. Tourist there a little bit this summer to try to help support because this is going to take a huge toll. And maybe, hopefully, they can get a portion of the park back open. But there are portions like the Mammoth Gardner, uh, North Entrance area that they're not they won't be open again this year. And in fact, the town of Gardner currently is, or the town of Mammoth, sorry, Gardner. I think it's Gardner. That's Mammoth is Mammoth and Gardner are kind of the same thing or close together. Anyway, Gardner is completely cut off right now. They cannot leave town. There's the roads on both sides of them and bridges are washed out. There's no way to leave. And the water, because of all the flooding, is not potable. They said even if you boil the water, absolutely do not drink it. So they are currently by helicopter bringing in supplies to them so that they can be okay and figure out if they can get a road repaired and open back up quickly or what to do with all the people that are stranded there. It's not a ton of people. I mean, I don't know how many, but I would say it's probably less than 100, but still those people matter and it's kind of scary. If someone had a medical emergency, it could become really scary in a heartbeat. But so anyway, all of our thoughts right now are definitely with Yellowstone. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Maureen said Yellowstone is so majestic. Jenny Lake, so spectacular. Yes. And Jenny Lake actually is not in Yellowstone. It is in Grand Teton National Forest, and they're fine. They've had a little extra like summer snow, but they're fine. So no flooding there. So you actually could still visit Grand Teton National Forest. And there's a lot of bears up there. And Jenny Lake is, I think, Maureen, honestly, I think Jenny Lake is the most magical place I have ever visited. I think so. And I've been to lots of sacred sites, but Jenny Lake does it. It's the most magical sacred place I've ever visited. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Oh, I love that. Lillian said, my parents took me on a great summer trip back in 65. The Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon were highlights of the trip. Was that before or after the big earthquake up there? Do you remember? So there was a huge earthquake that happened up in that area that created a new lake. And I had family that were camped there at the time that it happened. It it's 24 miles from the west entrance of Yellowstone. Uh, Still on the Montana side though, I think. Anyway, we had family that were camped there at the time. Oh, it was in 59. So it had happened before you got there. So did you see that, Lillian? Do you remember? You might not, but uh anyway, there was an area where they had this massive earthquake that created a new lake right where people were camping. Some people died. Some people, yeah, 28 people died. People were completely displaced from their family members. It completely, like, uh, just in the blink of an eye, completely changed the landscape that people were standing on, camping on. And so my Aunt Mary and her husband were there camping with their children. And when it happened, they ended up with a couple of kids that they grabbed and saved that were separated from their family. And it's not like now, you know, where it was just so easy to connect to other people. they ended up just telling they lived in Idaho Falls, so they were just gonna go back home. So they ended up just leaving their phone number with the sheriff and letting them know that they had these 2 little children with them and just went home. And several days later, somebody knocked on their door and took their kids back. Does that kill you? That story always makes me laugh. That's not how things would go down now at all. But, you know, they were just helping. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Lillian said she was chased around the tour bus by a small bear. Used to be like that there. Yeah. Actually, the bears, whew, we went through a long stretch where you hardly ever saw a bear at Yellowstone anymore. There were hardly any bears at Yellowstone anymore. And now there's a lot of bears again in Yellowstone and also in Grand Teton National Forest, a lot of them. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what's on my mind. I just think that whole Quake Lake story is just so interesting. The way people were literally there, they were camping, they were a part of the the landscape, and suddenly it all just shifted and changed. So wild. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and wolves. Yeah, the wolves well, so the wolves have come back with a vengeance. The wolf conversation is such a hard one around here because people where I live, they hate the wolves. They want to kill all the wolves. They do kill all the wolves. Well, they want to. They're not as crafty as the wolves, so they just don't get to anymore. But basically, back in the 80s, hunters had pretty much wiped out the wolves in this area, including Yellowstone. And in order to try to fix the ecosystem, because without apex predators, you end up with other animals, other parts of the ecosystem flourishing too much. So the elk and the deer were getting out of control. And because of that, their population being out of control, they were destroying the flora and the fauna in the streams because of just over eating and being in the water and just it's delicate. The balance of the ecosystem is really delicate. The problem was that the wolves that had been here, that were native to here, weren't very big. They were more like the size of a husky, maybe, not even that big. They weren't huge. So to reintroduce wolves, they brought wolves from Canada, from Canada. They brought Canadian wolves, and they bred them with our wolves here and created this wolf hybrid. But they're a lot bigger, and that really upset people. And the hunters were very upset because the uh, the moose and the elk and the deer had been really prolific, like really prolific. And then the wolves started doing their job and bringing those populations back into balance. And it upset the hunters to no end because all of a sudden these animals are not that prolific. No timber wolves. And well, timber wolves is what we had here. And then they brought in the Canadian wolves. And now we have a timber wolf hybrid. But anyhow, and then some of the wolves started straying out of Yellowstone and getting onto ranches. And farmers, if you have a wolf that's attacking your wildlife or your your livestock, you have the right to dispatch that wolf. But farmers were going out and killing wolves that weren't attacking their or their livestock. And suddenly, every death on every farm was being blamed on. Oh, that was a I gotcha. Yeah. They were blaming it all everything that was happening to their livestock was being blamed on the wolves because there had been a law passed that if a wolf killed your livestock, then the federal government would reimburse you. So now suddenly, if your cow stubs its toe, that was definitely a wolf and the government owes you some money. So it got kind of out of control. But also, we don't want it to be unfair to the ranchers that are also trying to make a living and don't deserve to have the wolves attacking their livestock. Anyway, it's turned into a bitter, bitter battle here. And because of that, the wolves have been quite unsafe. They were on the protected species list for a long time. Now they're not. And last year they opened up a whole bunch of tags. And basically, if the wolves stray out of the park at all, they are fair game to be shot. And quite a few of them were. There's still quite a lot of wolves, though. They are a lot more elusive than even than the bears are. They're and you don't see them that often, though there is a pack of wolves that lives in the mountains above me, uh, that people have seen a little bit and heard a little bit. So they're spreading out, but yeah, the wolves have a very challenging uh, past, and it's a really challenging conversation. And whenever any news sites here run stories about wolves, you just do not want to read the comments, or you'll end up so pissed off and disgusted you won't know what to do with yourself because all these guys want to do is kill them. Yeah. Sid said, "Does anyone know of any situation where human science strategies ever solved the original problem?" Right? No. They should have killed off all the wolves in the first damn place. And when they reintroduced the wolves, they should have just reintroduced timber wolves. Yep. All of it, for sure. There's a little place not too far, just like miles down the road from us, called Bear World, Yellowstone Bear World. And it's like a drive-through park that has buffalo and elk and deer and bears and wolves. And they have a really pretty pack of white wolves that are beautiful. Um, I'm sure they're pretty unhappy being housed on what's really no different than a zoo, except for that it's a little more open air and the animals aren't so much in cages, but in larger enclosures. But if you want to see bears, though, oh, mama, will you see bears? And if you're there the right time of the year, you can help feed the baby bears. It's kind of fun and kind of sad, but they do work with the Fish and Game and rescue sometimes some of the more at risk animals here. Like, for example, we had several years ago some white elk emerged, white elk and white moose. And even though people do have tags to hunt them around here, it's illegal to shoot the white ones. And so, but of course, people don't care. They poach, they do whatever they want. So they gathered up the white ones and they put them in places like this so that they'd be safe. They're so special. So they actually have a breeding program there now of white elk, and they are amazing to see. So there's some good um, bears that are in big trouble and can't live in the wild anymore because they won't stay out of people's food and are posing a risk to humans, which would be 100% humans' fault for feeding them in the first place. But at any rate, they go to places like that sometimes rather than euthanize them. So there is some good. There's some good and some bad. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's a lot about Yellowstone. So you're probably done hearing that. Oh, Tara said the coyotes have been an issue around there. Uh huh. We have coyotes too, but they don't seem to be as big of an issue. I don't know. They're probably more of an issue, and the wolves are taking the blame. Probably, whatever. So yeah, I'm just ready to poke the bear all the time. Let's take a quick look at Luminous, and we will do full moon fairy tale tarot. I already pulled the card, and I'm really excited about the fairy tale today. So, but let's look at Luminous first. If you subscribe, you probably received it about an hour ago. But I'm going to put links in the chat room. Okay. Oh, I forgot to share it. Hold on. I had to be a puppy courier this morning because my father-in-law had Shih Tzu babies, and my sister's sister-in-law was buying one from him, and I had to go up to his house and pick it up and bring it here. And So I've kind of been all over the place, but oh my goodness, adorable puppies. Wow. Okay. I think this cover is just the best. It's like looking down from a dandelion patch all the way up to a bright summer sky with a full moon. Yeah, no, for the full moon. I'm predictable. Okay. A note from me for the weekend. I called this edition the Full Moon Mastery Edition because I feel like this is one of those moons that if you use it to your benefit, you'll be in good shape. If you don't, it may just kick your ass. So we have to master this one so that we can benefit rather than get rolled over. Okay, over in my musings, I shared a few things. So Jade Bloom sent me a 20% off coupon code for anyone I wanted to share it with. And so I shared it with you guys. No pressure, but if there's any oils that you need, you could save 20% on them right now. And Jade Bloom is really big on freebies and stuff too. And so I don't know if they have a freebie right now, but they do a lot of cool stuff like that. And they also have a education program that if you sign up for it and go through their little education course, their Essential Oils Academy, they will give you free oils. I think it's like the equivalent of what you could buy 6 oils for. So it's pretty awesome because you get free oils just for learning how to use them safely, which I think is pretty great. But overall, if you're getting free oils and they have freebies and you have a coupon, like you could come out really well from them. But anyway, and then of course you get on their radar and they'll start sending you their stuff. And they give away cool stuff all the time. So I left this coupon, but I also had just taken a look at some of my favorite stuff from Jade Bloom and wanted to share with you some of the things that I have found myself using a lot lately. I was just checking their Facebook page to see if they have any freebies right now too. Let's see. Oh, it looks like they have one of their hydrosols marked down. Oh, they're lime. So they have a really limited edition run on lime hydrosol, and they've got a really good price on it. I'm going to order that. Lime is so amazing for mood and for energy and to help boost you up. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check that one out for sure. Okay. Anyway, some of my favorite oils that I wanted to share, or some of my favorite products from them, because they have quite a few different products in their line that they make from their oils. So their bug banish is pretty cool because it's one that you can oh, it's one that you can use it, for mosquitoes and chiggers and whatever, but I like that one. I hate mosquito repellent. I hate the way it smells. I hate the way it makes my skin feel. But, ain't nobody has time to get bit by a bunch of bugs. So I really like their bug banish. And you can just, if you click on these, they actually are clickable links. Their sandalwood hydrosol is one of my favorite things that they have. And partly just because it smells so great, but it's $9.99, which is an insane price. And sandalwood stuff is super expensive. The thing about using sandalwood hydrosol is this is the real deal. And one of the reasons you know that is because it's a hydrosol. So, what's a hydrosol? A hydrosol is the byproduct of making essential oils. So, they're made in these giant distillers. And as they distill the oil, it also distills a bunch of steam that turns into water droplets. The oil floats on the top. They use pipettes and pull out all the oil, or they spin it off, or whatever their process is. And then you're left with all of this water that smells amazing, and smells like their product. And you can use hydrosols as a linen spray. You can use them for your skin. You can use hydrosols for air freshener. I absolutely love it. I love sandalwood hydrosol for that reason. I love all of the hydrosols. The rose hydrosol is really good for raising the frequency of a room. It's really good for your skin. But I use the sandalwood hydrosol for perfume. I use it for room spray. I use it on fabrics. Who needs Febreze? That's just a bunch of chemical-y shit when you have things like hydrosols like this, is my opinion. Yeah, for sure. So, what does the Pamela wants to know what the bug spray smells like. I think it smells pretty citrusy, personally. I like the smell of it a lot. Yeah. So, I'll tell you what's in it, Pamela. Maybe that'll give you some ideas. It's fractionated coconut, citronella, geranium, cedarwood, bergamot, and Bulgarian lavender. And that's where a lot of the citrusy smell comes in from the citronella and from the bergamot. But I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. Would a sandalwood hydrosol be good for house energy clearing? It could be, yeah. I always use rose hydrosol after I clear to help bring the higher frequencies back. But I don't know why not, Sid. If that's your intention for it, just bless it with your intention. Resin oils or resin hydrosols are really good for clearing work. Yeah. Oh, Sid said I recently discovered how great Jade Bloom's helichrysum roller bottle works to heal scrapes and scratches super fast. Yes, helichrysum is amazing, and it's a very expensive oil. But what they do is they put it in roller bottles. They put a lot of their oils that way. They will cut them for you into roller bottle um, products so that they're a lot cheaper. So yeah, their helichrysum, that's crazy. Their helichrysum is, $12.95 for a roller ball. That's so unheard of, but that's a great price. Anyway, moving forward, their lavender healing ointment. I use this all the time. If you get burned, like on the stove or whatnot, of course, you always have to put that in cold for a while first, to make sure you stop the burn. But lavender takes the pain out of a burn in a hurry, which I absolutely love. But I also use it on my pets because lavender is dog safe. I believe it's cat safe too, but don't quote me on that. Research it. Essential oils and cats are not friends, but it is dog safe. And just for any skin stuff, partly because of some of my medication, my skin likes to get a little irritated sometimes or wants to get infected. So if I have even a littlest of something, I always treat it to make sure I don't end up with an infection because who the hell wants that? But at any rate, the lavender healing ointment is something I think everyone should have on hand. And then the Love and Peace. This is my favorite blend from them. It is it's like kindness in a bottle. It smells so good. It is quite citrusy. It has bergamot in it, and it has lavender, and it has mint, and it has a few other things. And I love it. Love it, love it. In a diffuser, it's makes an amazing perfume. So, and then the last picture is just a clickable link to Jade Bloom. So, anyway, if you're in need of any oils or thinking about stuff, that is a fun way to do it because I did give you a 20% off coupon. So, that should help. So, there you go. All righty. Bitch Scopes is all about chaos and the full moon. All new scopes from Kelly. And then, of course, my tip this week is my full moon linen spray. So, in an 8-ounce spray bottle, you combine 2 small moonstone, 10 drops of orange oil, 10 drops of rosewood oil, 5 drops of cypress oil, and a tablespoon of sea salt. Shake it up good and, well, top it off with water, obviously, and shake it up and then leave it out in the full moon. Leave it out. Or if you don't have the stuff together yet, just put a jar of water out in the full moon and let that get charged by the moon. And then you can use that water to make anything you want. So, this is a good one to spritz your bedding with. So, you pull your bedding back and you spritz it lightly with your linen spray and then let it dry. So, give it 15 minutes before you get in bed. Nobody likes a damp bed. uh, to soak in the magic of the full moon. And also, those oils are amazing ones for magical dreams and, yeah, just tapping into the magic of the full moon. That's what it was designed for. So, there you go. That's one of my favorites, I think. Okay, so I'm going to leave you there and just let you guys check out the rest of Luminous for yourself. But everything is new this week. All new articles, all new everything. So lots of good stuff. So there you go. Pamela said that mosquitoes are brutal here. They think they are our state bird. They're bad here too. We had them really bad in the house last fall, or well, not fall, like August. It was horrible. Ooh, Tara said her kids have been stalked in the park by coyotes. Ooh, that's scary, Tara, for sure. Okay. Hmm. Let's do full moon fairy tale tarot. We don't want to run out of time. So, as always, we pull a card for the full moon. We're asking for a general reading for stuff that we need to know right now during this full moon cycle. And I love this part always. So, I already pulled the card. This is, by the way, this is a deck by Lisa Hunt, and I think you can still get it on Amazon. It's kind of an old deck. This was my mom's actually, but it's awesome. So, the card that I pulled is the Ace of Wands. And what a coincidence, Tara. It is a coyote. It's a coyote with a stick. That's the picture. He has a stick in his mouth. He has what looks to me like a fire, maybe, or magic. There's all of these, there's a big mountain in the background. There's lots of like swirly, craggy rocks and stuff, and like trees, old dead trees and branches and things. That's what the card looks like. So let's take a look. It is How the Coyote Stole Fire. The culture is Native American. The keywords are creative awakening, inspiration, and new ideas. Long, long ago, when the world was young and people lived without fire, during the day they would warm themselves in the sun, but by evening they would shiver under a cold canopy of darkness. Things went on like this for some time until wise old Coyote happened by and asked them what the matter was. Coyote, please get us fire before we perish in this cold, the people implored. Where can I find fire? Asked Coyote. The only place you can get fire is from the fire beings who live at the top of the snow covered mountain. But take heed, the people warned, for they are hideous creatures with long talons and will swipe at any creature that attempts to steal from their camp. They do not want anyone else to be in possession of such a great source of power. So Coyote followed an icy path that led to the mountain. When he made it to the top, he spied 3 fire beings dancing by an orange blaze. The fire beings were preoccupied with their rituals when the snap of a twig broke their concentration. They turned to look, but only saw a harmless coyote hunkered down nearby. Chuckling, they ignored the coyote and went back to their revelry. The coyote continued to observe the fire beings as they tossed fire branches and pine needles into the bright flames. Every time they fed the fire, it grew stronger and burned brighter. The coyote then scurried back to the dale and called a meeting of his animal friends, saying, "We need to figure out how to get a piece of the fire being's fire." The animals agreed to help and formulated a plan. When the sun rose, Coyote returned to the fire being's summit. After dancing all night, Two of the beings had retreated to their lodge for rest. The third one was left to watch over the fire, but it was fatigued as well and began to doze as the embers crackled through the morning dawn. At last it got up and returned to the lodge, thinking the fire would be fine without attendants. Coyote knew what he had to do and sprang into action. He grabbed a burning piece of wood and fled as fast as he could down the slippery slope. But it wasn't long before the fire beings were on his trail and in hot pursuit. Just as they touched the tip of Coyote's tail, Coyote yowled and looked behind him to see that his tail had turned white. He then passed the fire to Fox, who was waiting by the path. The fox raced on, and he too was burnt by the fire beings. He then passed it to the squirrel. The fire beings were within an arm's length of Squirrel, but this didn't deter the swift mammal. He ran harder and almost made it to safety before one of the beings touched his tail and made it curl. Squirrel practically flew to Chipmunk as he dashed out of his hiding hole and joined the relay. The fire beings tried to grab and claw at Chipmunk, but only managed to scorch his little tail before he passed the branch on to Frog. Frog grabbed the branch with his wide mouth and jumped as far as he could. The fire beings grabbed his tail too and ripped it right off. The now tailless frog did not flinch. He kept jumping until at last he flung the branch onto Wood. Wood swallowed up the fire and refused to give it back to the fire beings. The fire beings stared at Wood, but could not figure out how to get fire out of Wood. Defeated, they returned to the mountain, leaving the glowing blaze behind. Coyote, being a wise member of the community, showed the people how to feed fire with branches and pine needles. He then figured out how to get fire out of wood by rubbing two sticks together. And from that day on, the people had a warm fire during the long winter nights. Symbols and meaning. Coyote is the benevolent trickster. He carries the fire of transformation. His movement suggests the direction of energies for productive gain. The spirally roots intertwine and fortify the dead trees, reminding, reminders of the continuing flow of ideas and life despite the illusion of dormancy. Faces can be seen within the tree trunks, figments of hibernating thoughts. The squirrel in the background is swift and energetic. The smoke's trail ends to the forest and mountain in the background, illustrating the journey down the treacherous path. The mountain is the center. To climb it is to ascend to a higher plane of awareness. The mist evokes a sense of mystery. Nothing is set in stone. Rather, all is permeable and subject to change. The feathers attached to Coyote's adornments suggest freedom, possibilities, and clarity. Our inner creativity has a chance to ignite into a period of renewed inspiration. By letting go of past perceived failures and allowing ourselves to absorb new energies, we can explore evocative ideas with reclaimed enthusiasm. So there you go. So what does that mean for us for this upcoming full moon cycle? Well, I like the idea of unbridled creativity and allowing yourself to create and shut your ego down because your ego says, "Oh, yeah, but remember when you did this and it didn't turn out? Remember when you tried that and it didn't look good? Remember when you wanted to do this but you couldn't?" Because part of your ego's job is to keep you safe. The problem with that is that, well, the ego wants to keep you safe, but the ego also tends to pin you down and take your freedom away or your ability to believe in yourself away. And so there's a real draw here to shut the ego down and give yourself permission to try and to do without any worry about doing something wrong, messing up. No such thing. So I feel like the next 2 weeks, as you feel compelled to try something new, to go for it. As you feel compelled to create something, do something, make something, change something, go for it. And when your ego pops up and starts warning you and shutting you down, Recognize it for what it is. Say thank you for the warning, but trudge forward anyway. Sid said, I really liked the fairy tale, a great message, and nothing weird about it, right? No weird girl stuff. No princesses getting tricked into marriage. Yeah, I liked it too. So there you go. I think this full moon carries a lot of promise. I do. But it is the head game that you have to win in order to really be able to benefit from it the most, I think. So there you have it. So I think that we better go ahead and do our bibliomancy from Kathleen Peterson's book. Can you believe we've been doing this now for almost 6 months? I said we were going to do it for this whole year, and we are. So I'm just going to ask for a message for this week and flip the book open, and we'll go with the page we flipped to. There are 99 chapters in this book. Ooh, 72 Ishtar. So this is a channeled message from Kathleen Peterson from Ishtar. Today I offer to send you light, which will surround you and deflect the lower energies of fear and doubt. You can call on me at any time to shine the light of love and healing upon you, so that you can release all of the fears and doubts in your life. I will assist you in this process so that you may be in the light of love and fearlessness. You are loved, and you need not live in fear and doubt. Take my hand and know that I stand with you to support you in all of your endeavors. I support you as you develop and work with your gifts and talents within. I will shine the light down on you and support you so that you will be free to pursue your divine purpose. See the light and know that you are safe. Feel the light and know that you are protected and that the fear with which you have been engulfed is disappearing. As you stand within the light, you will be able to allow your own light to shine forth, breaking the darkness and spreading the light into the world around you. Use the light that I send and send your own light out to reach the corners where darkness likes to hide. Like a candle in a darkened room, your light will fill the area and reduce the fear, doubt, and anger in any situation. I will assist you in this effort. Know that the light I shine, dear ones, is open to receiving love and that it only deflects that which is of a lower vibration. Stand in this light and lift your vibration, opening to the love that surrounds you within and without. You are loved. You are worthy of love. You deserve to live fearlessly and free. Be free, be strong, and stand tall in your glory. Stand in the light I send and know that you are already perfect as you. You are loved and supported. Fear not, for even if you make a mistake, this will not remove the love. Be prepared to receive love, as it will empower you and provide you with the wisdom and guidance to move through life with compassion and grace. I send you light today when you ask. I await your request. Go through the day with strength, wisdom, and love in your heart and soul. Be free. And that is a message from Ishtar and Kathleen. So thank you, Kathleen, for that. Well, you guys, we did it. We talked down to the end of the show. I will be available over at One to Listen for most of the day and evening if I can help you out. We are on sale for the full moon, so this is a great time to call. I also want to remind you that next week is my birthday giveaway show, so you definitely want to be here for that. All you have to do is come and be in the chat room, and that'll put you in a drawing for to win something cool from me. So thanks so much, you guys. Yes, I agree, Sid. I hope everyone gets to view the full moon tonight. It's clear now, but we're supposed to get a little more rain. But I hope we don't, because that probably means Yellowstone's going to get more rain. And gosh, they don't need that. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for being here. This has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on 1 2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world. Take care.